Hi, Robin.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom.
Hello, everybody.
Shalom.
Julie, you definitely win the
We're
background.
going to do a virtual background. It's
Like that back.
all right. It's what.
Oh, the picture.
It doesn't matter, they're gonna mute us anyway.
Right, now watch what you say.
Put your name down.
Are you standing?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, Janet.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Okay. No, wait.
Hi, everybody. We're going to start in just a minute or two, so feel free to talk amongst yourselves till then.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Karen.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Karen.
Shabbat
Tracy.
Shalom. How are you?
Depending on which Karen.
Good.
Shabbat Shalom anyway.
How long did you put it on for?
Shabbat shalom on the ground.
I think there's audio.
Back to the front page.
Back to the other page.
Okay.
Okay, Shabbat shalom. Welcome, everybody. It's not quite Shabbat yet, according to the sun, but we're going to make Shabbat begin. This is our service to honor, especially all of the volunteers of TRT. And I hope, as looking around, almost all of you are volunteers, which is really good. We'll talk more about that later. But it is really, really wonderful to have you all here. And where is Tracy? She's on here somewhere. There she is. Nice. And we have a special honor for Tracy Beck that we'll also talk about later as our Volunteer of the Year. So it's wonderful to see you all. And we're going to start by welcoming Shabbat.
So I thought that this was a fairly hard week, and whether or not you watched the news or you were part of it, I thought Rodeph Shalom Aleinu was a good place to start. Page 607.
607.
Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu. Rodeph Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. And now let's go to page 129. No. Chadadi. I just put the wrong page.
Okay.
We're singing the Chadadi on 138. Oh, I put the 2, not a 3. 138, we will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. If you would like to, if you so choose. It's traditional on the 9th verse to stand and greet the Sabbath bride and to look toward the door. If you would rather sit and simply think about inviting the Sabbath bride into your home, please do so. Lecha dodi likhat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likhat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad, yishmi'ani el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shamo echad, l'shem al tiferet v'lithilah, lecha dodi lithat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi lithat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likhat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hit'oreri, hit'oreri, ki ba'orech kumi ori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kvod Adonai alayich nitna, lecha dodi likhat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likhat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi b'shalom עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהולה, תוך עיני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, lecha dodi likhat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. We continue on 121 and 120 as we welcome Shabbat and declare that it has begun. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in me, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר, להדליק נר של שבת.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. We continue with Baruch Hu, page 146. Please rise if you're able.
Yalla lai la lai, 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 yalla lai la lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevoach. Baruch Adonai hamevoach le'olam va'ed le'olam.
olam la'ed.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv arabim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני. Hama'ariv Arabim. 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Page 154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
157. A reading that I hope we will take seriously in these troubling times, in these difficult times. When we're being encouraged to go it alone, when we're being encouraged to see us and them instead of we, this is just the perfect reading to lead into Milchamocha. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה יפנה, נורא תהילות אוסף מלכותך ראו בניך חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה לי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu, our evening prayer, also has something that we need to keep in mind and take to heart. In the middle of it, it says, please God, protect us. But then it says, distance us from wrongdoing. God can't do that alone. If we are set out to do wrong, it is impossible for God to stop us. That's not the way the world works. So this prayer isn't simply for God to protect us, but for God to help us make the right choices. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
We continue on page 162, singing Yismahu. Yismahu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismahu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshi Shavi, Mekadeshi Shavi Shabbat. Kulam yispe'u v'yitangu mituvecha Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Chemdat yamin oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Zeicha למעשה בראשית שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת וקורא עונג שבת.
Top of 165, one of my favorite readings. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. On the facing page, we begin the Amidah, the even number pages. Please rise if you're able.
Adonai sefatai tifach, ufia giteilatecha. Adonai,
Open up my lips,
that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, העליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל.
וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות,
ומביא גאולה לבני בני העם, למען שמו באהבה.
מלך
עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחלקל החיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדום מלך, מלך מביט ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמנת לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'er hakadosh.
Amen. Page 173. Top of the page. 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and on this day fulfill its promise. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai. Mekadesh HaShabbat.
173, 175. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, shoscha levadcha v'yir'ah na'avod. 177. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot.
Page 178. Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech Adon V'chol ha-shalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon V'chol ha-shalom. V'tov ba'einecha Nevarech et amcha Yisrael B'chol et v'chol sha'a Bishlomecha. Baruch ata Adonai, Hamevarech et amo Yisrael, Shalom.
Don't stop after beating swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and making musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. We continue silently.
Shalom bim'olam, Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imahu, amen, ve'imahu, ve'imahu. Amen.
Please turn to page 371 for our prayer for healing. And again, I'm going to unmute everybody in just a moment and ask you, please, to say aloud the names of the people you're thinking of. If you are still muted, then you muted yourself, because I have unmuted everybody. And if you would, it doesn't matter if it's over other people, but please say the names of the people who will.
Richie,
Joshua.
Jerry Weaver, Norman Sand, Robin Man,
Carrie Freud.
Yishabecha Avoteinu Mikol habracha leimoteinu. Be the source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berecha Imotenu Nekol HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing. Amen.
We're going to move the candles now so we don't get hurt here. It's wonderful to see most of you. Other than that, I see your names, but other than that, it's great to see most of you. This week, we belatedly honor all of the temple volunteers from the past year. And to begin, I want to introduce Tamima Grinvald, our president, who is going to speak about our volunteer of the year. And so, Tamima, you're somewhere you can unmute yourself. There you are. You can unmute yourself there, and it's all yours. And do we have Tracy is there? And Tracy's going to wave so we can all see her. Good, thank you.
So, first.
Can't hear you.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, before I introduce Tracy, I do want to say that I want to thank all our volunteers, all of you here. You guys are making TRT the special place that it is. Being a volunteer is touching a certain place in your heart that calls each one of us to give a part of ourselves to others, to be of service, to be of value, to be of contribution, to make the world a better place, to make our world at TRT a better place. And I want to thank you for that. And every year we select one volunteer of the year, but each one of you are volunteers of this year. And Tracy is special, and I'm going to tell you what she has done in order to get it this year. But I want you to know that each one of you are doing things, are engaged in a way that makes our life special. So you go out of yourself to help our community. Tracy is an amazing volunteer who does not seek the limelight. Not every volunteer has to be like I am now speaking. She is one of those who works so hard in so many ways for TRT. She is not looking to be in charge, and she takes on so many important tasks that are crucial to get different projects to completion. She's the kind of volunteer who, when we need someone to step up to the plate, she will be there without seeking for recognition. And you know what? Many of you are the same. You are not doing what you're doing to look for recognition, but we do need to say thank you. Tracy has been a member of the Volunteer Growth Committee, the nominating committee, almost since the inception, when Brian presidency put it in place. That's many, many years, probably even before I joined the temple. And in that role, she reached many congregants to get them to raise their hand up and to work on short-term, long-term projects, as well as to fill in different positions at the board. And someone like her who reaches out to our members and make them feel that they could step up and they could give them themselves really needs a hat. You know, we all need to lower our hats for Tracy for being able to communicate in such a way and to bring people into this world of volunteering. In addition, she also served as our bar mitzvah coordinators. She has served on various gala teams, including the one that we're working on now. She did a lot of shopping. She helped prepare Shabbat pre-negs that we have done. She set it up. She even cooked wonderfully, amazingly. She took part in coordinating the Taste of New Jersey facility. Anything you can think of that has to do with entertaining others, Tracy stepped up. She worked quietly behind the scenes. She's the kind of volunteers we need. Someone who is asked and says yes. Someone who does each job well. You know, volunteers are not people that you can say, I want you to do it this way. No, for volunteers is, we need these things done. How can you do it? Bring your best in here. And this is what Tracy has done for us. And I want all of you to thank Tracy on this special day. And please, thank you. So back to you.
Thank you. And I would like to show everybody, since we can't do it more than that. Hold on. Right, here we go. This is the certificate, which has been created for Tracy. And I hope you can see it. I hope everyone can see it. Please tell me you can. Thank you for your dedication to our temple community in so many meaningful ways. Tracy, from all of us, Mazel Tov, and thank you, most of all, thank you for doing everything you do for us.
Thank you.
So I love that your family is there, including the dog. That's really cool. It's important. This can be a day for the dog to remember. Like, you know, he'll talk about that for a long time. So Mazel Tov to you, and your family should be really, really proud of you. Really should.
Thank them for sharing.
So, yes,
Sharing.
thank you all for sharing her with us. Except the dog, who didn't share anything, I'm sure. So with that, we want to expand it to include all of our volunteers. We are so grateful to you. And I was reminded as I thought about this. Somebody's not muted there other than us. Not sure who that is, but here's a.
Again.
You got it?
No, I can't get it. I can't get the sound.
Okay, we're going to mute you. There we go. Okay, so years ago, Rabbi Dan Freelander was the regional director of the then Union for American Hebrew Congregations, and actually was the one who was responsible for both of us getting our positions at Temple Rodeph Torah and at Monroe Township Jewish Center. We had dinner with them last Friday night, and we were talking about old times. And I remembered that when a couple of years after I came to TRT, Danny said that TRT is like a bumblebee, which is that scientifically we can't even imagine how it flies, but it does. He said we had more members with fewer staff than any congregation he had seen anywhere. And at the height of our employment, for a couple of years, we had 3 full-time employees. 3, Rabbi, Cantor, and educator. The educators became part-time. Then the Cantors became part-time. And TRT has only 1 full-time staff person, and that's me. Everything else we do with a wonderful group of part-time staff people who give way more than they are required to do, every one of them. And we have the most incredible group of volunteers. And so for all the volunteers, I want to share something with you that I hope that you'll keep in mind. In the Torah, there are 2 different categories. There are things we have to do and things that are optional. And the have to do things are things that have roughly today been taken over by our government. So we have to pay our taxes. You really have to. We have to obey the laws. And we have to vote, although not everybody does. But those are the things that are required of Americans as citizens of this country. In the Torah, those were the same things. We had to come and put in our half shekel, pay our taxes. We had to bring certain offerings during the year, and we had to follow the rules. And that was it. But then Moses proposes this. We need to build a holy place. At the time, it was our portable holy place. We called it the tabernacle, the Mishkan. But he said that that could not be done by taxation. That had to be done by people who chose to participate. And he used this wonderful phrase, Kol nadiv libo yavi trumati. All those whose hearts make them volunteer. I love that phrase. Those whose hearts make them volunteer will bring my offering and build the temple. And when I think about the volunteers that we've worked with every year, I'm amazed at all of you. I'm grateful to all of you beyond words, because we shouldn't be able to exist. And yet we do, and we have, and we don't just exist, we thrive. And that is because so many of you share your hearts with us. And believe me, I've seen it. I want to share with you for 1 minute, and it will be very hard for you to read everything. That's not going to actually happen. But someone please tell me if you can see the volunteer recognition booklet. Yes, okay, good. I just want to know before I go on, so we can to page display, single page view. That's not single page view. Have I mentioned anyone that I don't like Max? Okay, Zoom 2.
Use your own.
I know, I would like to, but I can't. So there we go. So this is the volunteer recognition booklet. And I just want you to see, anyone who wishes a copy of this, please email me or Tamima. We will send it to you. These are the volunteers. I can't even read the names. I'm just reading the categories. Board of Directors, Aesthetics, Arts Hub, Bar and Bat Mitzvah Dates, Bar and Bat Mitzvah Video, Blessing of the Animals, Bowling League, Building and Grounds, Candidate Forum, Cantor Search Committee, Cantor Alexander's Farewell, College Outreach, Comedy Night, Eat, Pray, Learn, Education Committee, Finance Committee, Family Shabbat Dinner, 50-50 Raffle, Food Drive, Healing Service, High Holiday Bima Baskets, High Holiday Committee, High Holiday Helpers, Iftar Dinner, Knitting Group, Kolot Yafim, Lion of Judah, Food for the Hungry and Interfaith Service, Marketing, Marlboro Day, Membership, Mentalist Event, Midnight Run, Men's Club, Millionaires, Newsletter, Office Support, Purim Baskets and Yom HaShoah Candles, Purim Carnival, Purim Spielers, Pursuit of Harmony Weekend, Reformed Jewish Voice of New Jersey at TRT, Religious School Parent Volunteers, Religious School Volunteer Aides, Rock Hashanah, Rock Shabbat Band, Rock Shabbat Fundraiser, Rock Shabbat Graphic Design, Rock Shabbat Planning Team, Ronald McDonald House Cooking, Ritzy Board, Ritzy Rock Shabbat, Sacred Texting Service, Slichot Barbecue, Service Script, Shabbat Minyan Leaders, Shabbat Music Assistants, Shabbat Under the Stars, Shiva Minyan Leaders, Shofar Blowers, Sisterhood Board, Sisterhood Mystery Night, Sisterhood of Salam Shalom, Social Action Delivery, Soup Kitchen Volunteers, Sukkah Builders, Taste of Shabbat, Technology Committee, This Week at TRT, Torah Crown Replacement and Repair, Tat Shabbat, Toy and Coat Drive, Tree of Life Memorial Wall, TRT Helping Hands, TRT Playground Resurfacing, Volunteer Growth and Nominating Committee, Website, Wicker Church Lunch, Women's Shabbat Dinner, Worship Committee, Yom HaShoah Service, Youth Committee, Youth Group Volunteers. Whew. And then we have as well the staff, the clergy, the temple administrator, administrative assistant, office staff, administrative assistant to clergy and educator, religious school teachers, high school teachers, youth director, and our custodians. Now, we have, as you notice, what amounts to half a page of staff. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages of volunteers. Now, if you look at that group, and as I said, I apologize that I can't hand you the book to read right now, and I apologize that I can't read every name, but we'd be here a really, really long time if I did. I look at each of these people and think about how your hearts moved you to do this. Let's be clear. First of all, you all volunteer by paying your dues. That's Nadiv Libo. That's someone whose heart moves them. There is no requirement in our community to belong to a synagogue. None at all. We know people who don't. We know people who do for a while and then leave. But each of you that is a volunteer is also a temple member. So you started by volunteering to pay thousands of dollars a year. Beyond that, as I look at the names, I think about the things that you volunteer for that are not listed here. How many of you come to Shabbat services? How many of you study? How many of you just reach out a hand when you need to? How many of you come to the morning minyan? Each of you is a volunteer in that. Each of you, your heart moves you to be there because no one's forcing you to, and no one's taking attendance except the kids with service script. Other than that, no one's making you do it. And then each of you listed in this booklet has then said, I need to do more. I need to contribute. I need to help. And whatever it's been that you've helped with, you're what made this bumblebee fly. It literally is incredible what we do with so little staff. So many times, I'm a late night person. There are so many times that I would leave the building. Remember the building? We used to go there. And meetings would still be going on. A couple of times I locked them in and turned on the alarm because I didn't even know you were there. You were in one of the classrooms down the hall. I thought everything was turned off. I went outside and saw cars and went, I'd better double check that, and found that you were all sitting in a classroom meeting. The number of times that you've been there setting things up, doing things before we ever arrived to make the program happen. So many of you have worked so hard. I think about high holidays, an incredible amount of work that goes into preparation on a regular year, let alone this coming year. And I am grateful to you. Grateful beyond description. Because we walk in, put down our books, and start the service. And that doesn't happen without everybody who was there hours earlier, sometimes days earlier, sometimes weeks and months earlier to prepare things. Your hearts moved you. And what do you get in return? You get a good feeling in your heart. And that's not a little thing. It was enough for Moses to offer to the Israelites. He said, we need to build a sanctuary. We can't force you to do it. So let's see if it's enough for you that your heart moves you. Listen to your heart and see what it says. And when it says help, then we would appreciate your help. So for the ancient Israelites, they were the people who were skilled at building, and they lent their skill. There were people who were skilled at weaving and working in cloth and colors, and they lent their skills. There were people who came and gave their own valuables in order to make it possible for the building, for the tabernacle to be created. When I read those portions, I think about you. I have no trouble. It's not even a stretch to think about you the exact same way that Moses thought of the Israelites, as people whose hearts move them to do good. So what do we offer you? We offer you our thanks. And thanks cannot be enough. And not one of you is doing it for our thanks, because you're way smarter than that. That's not a reason, that's not enough. Our thanks today is simply a way of acknowledging the beauty that is in your heart. I have no other way to put this. The beauty that is in your heart that leads you to do small things and big things, and things that people notice, and things that people never know about. Each of you, every one of you on this call is a volunteer. Each of you is here of your own accord. You're here because your heart moves you. To each of you, and especially to those who have given their time and energy to Temple Rodeph Torah, we are grateful to you. From the bottom of our hearts, we speak to yours. Thank you for moving that person that you are within to make our community what it is today. Thank you.
On page 652 is a song that talks about changing the world. And it actually just takes a partner to do it. Sometimes the partner is God. Sometimes the partner is the person next to you. Sometimes the partner is someone you didn't know, but you met when you went to volunteer. Ani v'ata, you and I will change the world. And then all will join us. Though it's been said before, it doesn't matter. You and I will change the world. You and I will start from the beginning. It may be difficult, but it doesn't matter. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה, אז יבואו כבר כולם. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי, זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה ננסה בהתחלה. יהיה לנו רע, אין דבר, זה לא נורא. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי, זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. את העולם. את העולם.
For the volunteers, I want you to know that Shira wanted to sing something that had particular meaning to us, to say thank you. We sang that at our Afruf on the Shabbat before we were married. And so that's what we wanted to share with you from our hearts to yours. We continue on page 586 with Aleinu. And again, we ask you to rise if you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עוונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591, please be seated. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. Oh, may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Ushamo, Ushamo, Yichad.
Reminder that tomorrow morning is the final Tat Shabbat for this school year.
I knew that.
I'm sorry, I just reminded Shira of something.
I knew that.
We knew that. Jen, where are you?
No, she
shouldn't be
knows
scared at all, right? Okay. So that's at 9:15, and every pre-reader is welcome. You're welcome to join them in person or via Zoom. It's really, really easy to remember how to get there. trt.org/tot, T-O-T. Okay? So trt.org/tot tomorrow at 9:15.
10 o'clock.
And the theme is Shabbat.
Shabbat. The theme is Shabbat.
The theme is Shabbat, which is cool because it's on Shabbat. And how to make Shabbat in
your house
in quarantine,
and to make
all
it
the
yours.
other things going on.
And to make it yours.
That should be really cool. Everyone is invited. Even grown-ups are invited as long as you behave. That's really the only thing. And then at 10 o'clock is our morning minyan, and that is at trt.org/Saturday. Once again, trying to make that real simple. And please come join us. Come as you are and join us for Shabbat morning service. Next Friday evening, Shira and I invite you to join us. It is our last Friday evening service that we will be here at TRT. I was asked if it was going to be in person, and no, it's not. That's not safe, and we specifically did not want a situation where some people would feel afraid to come. So no, it will be done right here on Zoom, same way. We have some guests who are coming to join us and make it a really, really nice service. It was supposed to be Shabbat under the stars. So if you have the ability to take your computer outside, as some of you already did, we can try to do that. We'll see if we can get a good signal out there, but we will try to do that outside under the stars, or actually under the setting sun, which is not that terrible either. So we'd love to have you join us next Friday evening for that. And the beginning of July, Rabbi Disick will be joining you, and we'll be doing it via Zoom to begin. May you please soon all be able to go back to TRT itself, but everything will continue just the way it's been, and I hope you'll continue to be here too.
And on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, we will again have our bereavement group. And please know that it is going to continue without a stop. And Jen Herzog is going to be the facilitator. So please, for those of you who either have or who know someone who has a death in the family, please know that you're welcome to come. And it's trt.org/bereavement.
There you go.
But you have to spell bereavement correctly.
There's the challenge. Kaddish is on page 598. Before we join in Kaddish, I'm going to read the names of those that we are remembering, and then I will invite you to add other names as well. This week we mark the Shloshim of Linda Shaw Haidt, the sister of Kathy Shaw Fisher. And we remember those whose yahrzeits occurred this week: Rose Josephson, Richard Kimball, Sylvia Popper, James Raymonda, Chaim Guder, William Morin, Glenn Siegel, Esther Einstein, Ruth Siegler, James Eterno, Leonard Dombroff, Sam Kamenetsky, Janet Richmond, Hortense Kaplinsky, Toby Yaskowitz, Philip Feldman, Barbara Sachs, Martin Sperling, Shirley Kersner, Tilly Gelber, Esther Shimmerman, Charlotte Trencher, Sybil Handwerker, and Barbara Lippman. Now we will unmute everybody, and we ask you please to add names that we did not include that you would like remembered on this Shabbat.
Sarah Bet.
Leon Binder.
When is your Uncle Jerry?
Uncle Marty.
Page 598, please rise if you are able. Yitgadal v'yitgadal shemei Rabba. Ba'alma v'yirach yutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechonu v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yimru amen. Hey shemei Rabba mevarach la'alam lamed amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei v'kudsha v'richu ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata v'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromah hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all the world, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromah hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. And for our final song, because to be truthful, it takes strength to be a volunteer. So we're going to sing page 647 at the very bottom, that one line, Ozi v'zimratya, Adonai is my strength and might, God will be my salvation. And God will be my strength, yes.
Oh.
I just gave the title.
Got it. You translate.
No, I was giving the. You got it. Ozi v'zimratya, v'yahi Yeshua. Ozi v'zimratya, v'yahi Yeshua. Ozi v'zimratya, v'yahi Yeshua. Ozi v'zimratya, v'yahi Yeshua.
Dear God, thank you for the strength to do the work we do. Thank you for our hearts that guide us to do good work. Thank you for the souls that we share this holy community with, because they inspire us and lead us to be the best that we can possibly be. And most of all, God, thank you for your presence in our lives, because with your presence, this all makes sense. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
We will unmute everyone. People can stay and schmooze, have a brownie on us. We don't have them, but have a brownie on us.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, guys.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom,
everyone.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Also talk to Tracy and all the volunteers.
Shalom.
Shalom, everyone. Mazel tov,
Shabbat
Tracy.
Mazel tov,
Tracy.
Soon be well.
Thank you, Tracy.
Gashi
Shabbat
Koa.
shalom. Thank
I'm gonna miss that so much.
Here's to Tracy.
Talking
Thank
to
you, Tracy.
those yummy things while we eat.
Hey, Sandy.
Richard.
Hey, Sharon. How you doing? Hi, Richard.
Richard,
Hi, guys.
how you doing? I want somebody to volunteer to give Stu Schlem a haircut. Where'd he go?
He ran away.
Karen, I have to tell you, my mom said the mindfulness was wonderful. She loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you got something from it. It was fun to do. Thank you. Thank you.
And the bereavement group is lucky to have you.
It's an amazing group.
Isn't it? They're fabulous folk, and I'm so glad you'll be there for